Vasistha continued. There, seated near the body of King Padma, they saw the second Lila, who was devoutly fanning the king. The first Lila and Sarasvati saw her, but she did not see them. Rama asked. It was said that the first Lila had temporarily left her body near the king and travelled with Sarasvati in an ethereal body. But now the first Lila's body is not mentioned at all. Lila is in her ethereal body. She's been travelling all over the place with the goddess Sarasvati. And her future incarnation has come back to the body of her husband's previous incarnation, that's King Padma. And Rama's asking, well, what's happened to the original Lila's body in all this time? Vasistha replied, when the first Lila became enlightened, the egoistic fancy of her ethereal real being, abandoned its link with the gross physical form, and it melted away like snow. I'm not quite sure what it is that's melted away here. Was it the link with her body, or was it the actual gross physical form? I think it might be the link. The ethereal real being abandoned its link with the gross physical form, and it melted away like snow. So Lila's no longer connected with her physical body. In fact, it was Lila's ignorant fancy that made it appear as if she had a physical body. It was as if one dreams and thinks, I am a deer. On waking up and finding the deer missing, does one go about searching for it? Yes, so there you go. If you dream that you're a deer or a monkey, and then you wake up, do you go around looking for the body that was the deer or monkey? In the mind of the deluded, the unreal manifests itself. And when the delusion has been dispelled, like the realization that it is rope and not snake, there is no longer an ignorant fancy. This fanciful conviction that the unreal is real is deep-rooted by repeated imagination. It's almost as if we're being hypnotized into believing things. Even without destroying it, one can move from one ethereal body to another. Just as in dream, one can take one form after another without abandoning the previous one. The yogi's body is truly invisible, ethereal, even though it appears to be visible in the eyes of the ignorant beholder. And it is such a beholder who, on account of his own ignorance, thinks and says, this yogi is dead. For where is the body? What exists and what dies? That which is. Only delusion vanished. Well, we've got this teaching here about the ethereal body, that being the real body, and the physical body only a notion. Well, I think the Yoga Vasistha is straying a little bit here. Why should the ethereal body be more real than the physical body? We can accept, well, I can accept, and it seems obvious to me, that the whole notion of a physical body is simply that, it's a notion. This ethereal body I described previously as what we in the West would call the astral body. And you might be intrigued by that notion. You might have experienced the astral body. Some people seem to have the talent for entering into this astral body and doing what's called astral projection and having all sorts of wonderful experiences. And some of us might be wondering, well, is this true? Is there such a thing as the astral body? Is it possible to go flying to other worlds? Or to leave the body and to have all sorts of wonderful adventures? Well, I think it's true in the sense that people undoubtedly experience this. It's not true in the sense that it's part of our conventional reality, what we like to think of as objective reality. It could easily be tested. Somebody could leave their body, then they can do what's called remote viewing, and that should easily be tested and verified. But the fact is, it is not so. I'm sure some people might disagree with me there, but if it was a verifiable phenomenon, then it would be verifiable. It would have been verified. So it's not. As far as I can tell, it's not possible to leave your body and go to another part of this what we can call consensual or conventional reality, and report back from other parts of that reality. Yes, so the astral body is something which is, it has its own sense of reality, and we could call it an altered state of consciousness. And perhaps this ethereal body actually feels more real than our physical body. And this is what's being conveyed here. This ethereal body has a greater sense of reality than this physical body. But to actually describe it as more real is not in keeping with the message of the Yoga Vasistha. The message of the Yoga Vasistha is that there's only one reality, and all the forms that it takes are intrinsically of the same nature as that reality. So I think we have to be careful here. There seems to be a certain teaching, what we'd call the teaching of astral projection, or perhaps in Hinduism they've got different bodies which some are considered more real than others. That teaching there's an attempt to verify that teaching here, and it's not in keeping with the message of the Yoga Vasistha. So this idea that there's an ethereal body which has a greater reality than the physical body may or may not be true, but it's not really relevant to the message of the Yoga Vasistha. But it is a fascinating topic, isn't it? Rama asked, "Holy Sir, does a yogi's physical body then become an ethereal body?" "How many times have I told you, O Ram, yet you do not grasp it. The ethereal body alone is. By persistent fancy, it appears to be linked to a physical body. Just as when an ignorant man who thinks he's a physical body dies and the body is cremated has a subtle body, even so the yogi, on being enlightened while living, has an ethereal body." So now we've got something called the subtle body. And the assumption here is that the subtle body is somehow distinct from the ethereal body. Perhaps we can make the distinction that the subtle body is actually fairly unconscious. The yogi is fully aware in the ethereal body, but the subtle body is just the remnants of the previous life. The physical body is only the creation of one's ignorant fancy and is not real. There is no difference between the body and the ignorance. To think they are two, this indeed is samsara, repetitive history. I'm tempted to suggest that the ethereal body is a pure sense of being, but I don't think I can really go there completely, because the ethereal body is definitely something, according to Yoga Vasistha, which can leave the physical body and travel to previous incarnations and travel throughout different universes. So I suspect this is a teaching which we can use the imagination to enjoy, but not put too much emphasis on it.